Time to start. At least what I think is the least fun thing to do. But gonna start doing some body work. Right, buddy? We're gonna do some body work? You like getting all dusty and dirty? I don't. Hey? All right. So, just gonna go pull out the sander. It's sandblasted and stuff, but we gotta rough this up. I'm pretty much just gonna skim a coat on everything. Actually, I'm gonna do a skim of fiberglass first, just for over the seams and stuff, and then sand that and do some mud work. Yeah, it's not too glorious, but it is what it is. All right, well, let's get started. So it's a little cool in here today because we're like, I think it's about minus 30 today has been the temperature. Anyways, I'm just preheating up the fiberglass a little bit, getting her nice and warm so she's easy to spread and mix. It's kind of my my preamp there. Ooh. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. Ooh. There we go. I'm sure this stuff is gonna spread like butter, right, Pablo? It's gonna spread like butter. So we got our whole mixing MO here. This is just short strand fiberglass. That's what I'm using. I like to mix it with a little bit of fiberglass resin just to get it nice and silky smooth. I do tend to use that with the Bondo as well. Just makes things nicer to work with. So anyways, I got to, this was sitting on the other side of the shop in a cold corner there, so she looks pretty warm, pretty happy there. Oh yeah, this is gonna, so we're good. I'll have to mix this all up, so I'm gonna do that first. I know lots of folks always ask how I heat the place. I actually have a water boiler, or like a gas boiler, to which I heat my floor. So when folks think the dogs are sitting on the cold floor, they're actually sitting on a pretty warm floor. I give them a blanket, but they always just find the warmest spot in the shop to lay down on, so hey, whatever works for you, buddy. All right, so anyways, I'm gonna mix some of this up, and basically on the worst of the stuff, I'm gonna put a skin coat everywhere just to do the base. I don't care about everything. It's just we got some low spots here a little bit, mostly on the weld. I'm gonna get some on there, and this lower section I'd like to just get a good skin coat. It's kind of just a lot of that. It's the same with this side. Once that's done, that'll probably give it an initial sand, and then I'm just gonna skin a good coat across here. I'm focusing on these. I'm not gonna concern myself too much with the ugliness that is the stake pocket, but I will fix up the stake pockets a little bit. And yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it. I'm on the fence if I'm gonna touch the top, because I'm an idiot and I always throw stuff in my trucks, and I'll probably bang up the tops again. But I don't know. We'll see. If this goes a lot quicker than I think, maybe I'll clean up the top rails a little bit. So you've probably seen I don't use a lot of hardener when I go. Gives me lots of time to spread it. I'm in no hurry. If I am, you can always add more hardener, but I know everybody has their own way of doing this. I just use some thinner. That's how I kind of clean my knives. And my board just makes it so much easier to redo Bondo. So I just have a little bucket with some thinner in it. But then I can just, it doesn't really stick to the knives after, so you can kind of scrape your board clean, and now it's ready to go for the next round. And then you kind of do the putty on your knives. I don't have anywhere to put it right now, so I'll put it right there. And then I go back and I clean off my knives with my other knives. I like using these over the flexible ones. I have nothing wrong with the flexible ones. I just find the flexible knives, the edges get rough, and then it's just, I don't know, you get a much more true edge with this, but this doesn't work for everything, so you kind of have to have a mix of everything around to make stuff work, I find. If I can get away with it and the panels are flat, I'll use these, but these sharp corners will screw you over. And then I have these, which are nice and flexible. They got curved edges, but you can't do too much curvy stuff. So everything has its pros and cons. Anyways, I am basically cleaned up. I'm gonna do another batch, get my full coat of fiberglass on, and I think that's as far as I'm gonna get tonight. I'll let it sit overnight. I'm gonna sand it in the morning, and then we're gonna schmooze some Bondo on everything. That's the plan. All right, well, we pretty much hit everything I care about. I don't really care too much in this opening. It doesn't bother me at all because my tire covers so much of that. So that I don't care. Mostly wanted to get anything that had the welds and, you know, had a little more of a bop in it than I cared about, or, you know, was a little excessive. I wanted to get a little bit of glass on that. So I pretty much, well, should scrape that off. Good job. I'm pretty much just going to sit and wait till tomorrow, till this dries. I'm going to sand this, going to hit her with the old 8-inch, the old hog there. I don't even know what this thing is. I like using the big orbital over longboard for a lot of stuff. So I got this. We're going to smash her with some 40. Lay some mud, more 40, 80. Hit it with high build. It's kind of my MO. The less I touch it, the better shape it stays. Again, not that it matters crazy with this, but yeah, I guess that's it for today though. We'll let this dry. I'm gonna scrape up the excesses there just so it's easier to sand. That's the big thing. If you can not leave, the smoother you can make it, the easier it is to sand. Oh, dang it. Keep touching everything. Yeah, I should step back. But that's usually the way it works with this stuff. Again, I'm no pro, and I don't really care if it's 100%. This cab's going to be a whole other ball game, but she's got her fair share of not so nice stuff. I don't know if I showed. I'm thinking this for the color of the paint for the truck. So, I don't know, a little different. It's actually like an army. It was one of the greens I bought when I did the international, and it's not the green I was going for, but it is that weird olive. Is that an olive drab? Is that right? I don't know. All I know is it's a Rust-Oleum paint. Whether I get some mixed up or I just rattle can this truck too, I don't know, but it's supposed to be this. I don't know. That's probably the color she's gonna go. Anyways, till tomorrow. Ready to go? Ready to go? Let's give her. All right, well, everything's all dried up. I'm basically just going to sand everything down really quick, give it a quick knock the worst of everything down, and then we're going to schmooze some Bondo on everything. Kind of the plan. Well, here we are. Whole lot of Bondo spread on. I know it's not very exciting, although there's some of you, no pun intended, weirdos that actually think this is awesome and fun. I'm not one of those people. But anywho, we got our main points that I care about. Gonna hit that, like, whatever. Gotta wait for it to dry. And then I'm gonna hit it with some 40 grit just to knock everything down. We'll see if there's any low spots. We'll probably fill those quick again. Another 40 shot. Hopefully we're super close at that point. Then I'm gonna buzz the works with some 80. And that is it. Like, that's the extent that I'm taking it. And from there, it is some high build. I don't have any like etching primer because you need something that'll adhere to the bare steel. So I think I have a rattle can, so I'll probably dust the coat on with the rattle can just so my adhesion's good. And then I'll hit it with some high build out of the gun kind of thing. So we're going to kind of get that all out of the way. The tailgate I'm not going to do anything to. It's just going to be what it is. I don't know. It's a tailgate. I still got to blast it, but I'm not going to try to fix any dents or anything in it. They always take a beating, so there's no point having all that junk knocking off. I'm going to try to see if I can schmooze that a little bit. This is like, it's got a second coat shot at it to make it as nice as it is, and after that, it's done. It's pretty much fiberglass, Bondo. Find any low spots in your Bondo, do that. Maybe give everything a skim. Hit it with 80, done. That's the way I do it. Right or wrong, there's many ways to do it. From there, I think if I'm doing something fancier, I'll do a couple coats of primer after. Like, I'll block the primer out, prime it again, block it, maybe prime one more time. Like nowadays, they have primers pretty much like Bondo in a can nowadays. So the stuff is so thick, you can pretty much spread it on like a fine Bondo. So anywho, I didn't mix a lot of hardener in here, so this is going to take a while to dry. I don't care. It just gives me lots of time to try to smooth it out. I try to keep all my lines and you know, when you smear, sometimes you see how my little bump is there, but sometimes you can get a much, I don't even know if you can see that. How about that? No? Yeah, you see how there's all these weird edges and stuff? When you leave that in there, that just makes it more work to sand down, so I try not to do that. That's why I always try to run my knife over, get everything as smooth as I can so the sandpaper I don't have to work as hard with the sandpaper. But anyways, enough babbling. That's kind of what I do, right or wrong. It works for me. Like I say, the less I touch it, the straighter it usually seems. I'm not going for super straight. I'm just going for okay. You'd say this, I put a lot of effort in this for that. But I mean, as far as Bondo work has gone now, I think with the sanding and everything, I have an hour and a half into this so far. Maybe 2 hours. So I'm expecting by the time I'm where I think I'm saying I'm going to be good and I'll start doing some priming, I'm hoping to have like maybe at the most 6 hours. I don't even know if I'll have that because I don't have any really fine crazy edges that I have to work super hard. Like there'll be up here and like down here around these edges. I'm not doing anything really that I care much around the stake pockets and stuff. They're just going to be what they are. So I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is. Seems like I say a lot of work. Some folks will think that it's not. You may as well go the whole route all the way, but I really am not going to do that. Not on this truck. I want it to look intentionally rough, but not this rough. Not this rough. So I'm not sure if you can see what's going on here, but I got a low spot. So I put, can't say this is right or wrong, this just works for me. I put an excessive amount of Bondo on that spot because you gotta sand that, you gotta fill that spot. What I do after is I kind of fill everywhere around it, because it's if you don't, you're gonna have low spots on either side of it. So you need to give yourself some Bondo to sand off, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. I mean, it makes sense to me, but so I put an excessive amount on the spots I need, and then I kind of put a little bit of, you kind of have to go around, because if you keep sanding, you'll end up with craters everywhere. And then I try to make it as smooth as possible. I guess if you're doing drywall, you'll already know how to do this, but if you make it really rough, you're going to make it miserable for yourself to sand. That's all I can say. That seems to be why I like these knives, because I can really get it nice and smooth. Hey, had enough of me sanding? Well, I got it pretty much as good as I want. I'm gonna do a little more touch up around that thing. Everything else, yeah, it's a few little sharp edges I guess I gotta just sand down, but for the most part, we got her. As good as she'll get. I'm gonna rattle can it with that etching primer, and then I might give it a little scuff tomorrow and hit it with some actual high build primer. That will be the plan. Like I say, I'll do the primer on the outside here first, do that. I did do a bunch on the top rails, so I'll probably hit that with some etching, that etch primer, to which, like I say, I'll hit it with a scuff pad. I'll go, I guess my primer I have, you can't spray it on bare steel. So, and this stuff you can, which is just the rattle can, but at least it'll be a good base. So, we'll use some of that. And then I think once that dries, I'll probably lift it up and maybe I'll brush in that Dome 50 or whatever that other primer paint is on the inside of the box here. I'll paint that all around. Brush it on anyways. Yeah. Sound like a plan, Pup? No? You're not a very energetic dog, are you? You just want to go in the house. That's all you ever want to do. Or a ride. You always like going for rides. Well, okay. Anyways, let's prime this sucker up. So I didn't prime any of this with the rattle can because, well, it's not bare steel, so this is what that primer is designed for. So I'm letting this stuff kind of flash. I might actually just mix it up, get the priming out of the way, and then I can maybe paint the other stuff later tonight or whenever, tomorrow. Yeah, all I'm going to use is like a 2-part primer, like a high build. I'll grab it and I'll show you what it is. Alright, here's what I'm using. No idea how good or bad it is. All I know is on sale and I bought a gallon of it. From my understanding, it's 4-to-1. I've had it on the paint shaker already, so pretty much going to mix it 4-to-1, slab it in my priming gun, which is just some eBay gun I bought, but it has a very large tip on it. I don't even know how many millimeters it is, but I think it's like a 2.5 or a 3 millimeter tip. So you can pretty much almost spray like mud through it, which is good because you can get a good heavy coat on. So anywho, I am going to mix this stuff up and we're going to get a good coat, 2 coats on there. That's the plan. 2 coats. And I'll get 1 on the tailgate, or 2, maybe 2 on the tailgate. Let's do that too. Or at least on the one side of the tailgate that I give a crap about. All right, we got our primer on. Got 2 good coats on everything. So that thing's just flashing now, or whatever, letting that dry. I don't think I'm gonna sand it this time around. I'm gonna wait till I finish the rest of the truck, and then I'll kind of sand everything and paint it all at the same time. I'm kind of busting my bodywork up into small chunks because this will drive me crazy if I try to do it all in one shot. Although this went pretty good. I just started this today and I finished it today. So I'm not saying it's very good, but it's gonna look better than all welded up and just rattle canning over junk. So it's a little nicer. Let's put it that way. We primed the gate. The outside I primed. The inside I'm just gonna paint with that that black rust paint. Same with the inside of this box. I might paint just the lip. Like when I do paint it, I think I'll paint this lip, but this I'm gonna like just do that black paint, which is the plan for tomorrow. I'm gonna let this all dry, and then tomorrow I'm gonna go brush that paint on and call her done. At least the box. At least the box will be done. Next step's gonna be, I don't even know. I don't want to start the cab yet because I'm not digging bodywork, so that's kind of, we have to take a break, split that up. But I think we'll go back, do a little more mechanical stuff here and maybe get the frame ready for paint. It's close. I like to see if I can get to a buddy's place there and see if I can copy his front frame rails off of his car. He's got a 32. Well, he's got a couple chassis and stuff, but I want to mirror the front rails off of that 32 so I can kind of give this a better look in the front. Anywho, till tomorrow, and then we're gonna go do some painting. Alrighty, well, for the next day, this paint, I guess it's a little cool in the shop, but it's still not dry. So I guess that chassis paint sure does take a while to dry, which is not a big deal. We pretty much got everything covered on it. I just sprayed some red oxide primer on this just so when a feller does the sanding, you have an easy way to see where your scratches are and stuff, so you know how far to sand without, I don't know, you just have a simple visual. But anyways, we got our box done. Well, yeah, it's done. I'll say it's done for now. But it is good enough for what it is, what I'm looking for anyways. Got a little bit of paint on the floor. That's nice. You can see our puddle of mud. May look excessive what I was using, but you pretty much gonna end up dumping half of it on the floor, so it's kind of how that works out. Anyways, I'm gonna let this dry for a day. I'm gonna have a lazy day. I'm gonna go for supper, do all that jazz today. Seeing how we got nothing going on. So, I guess this is where I'm gonna leave this. As always, folks, I want to thank you for watching. And we'll catch you on the next one. Later.